Tim, can you just start us off with your keys to the game?
Ooh. I think a style of play matters so much in this game. I think if Georgia is able to get a lead, then they can wear you down and play that physical ground and pound. And I just think it's one of the bigger challenges for LSU is the way that A&M played them last week. It's actually something we talked about last Friday in our meetings, and then Saturday is if there was one area that we felt like LSU needed to be able to step up, it's in when someone goes right at them. They're so athletic, they're so fast. Everyone's seen Harold Perkins as a spy going sideline to sideline, Ojulari, all their speed. But I think the challenge is when someone goes downhill right at them. And which is funny because over the years that's never been something that's been a challenge for LSU. And I think that would be the biggest key to the game is whatever you can do. If it's you can step up and match that physicality, if it's you can get them in a game where you're more spread. I mean, look how well the defense played against spread teams. Look how well they played against Bama, right? And I think they play really well that way. They're fast. They can get to the passer. They can make plays. They have a lot of speed. But I think if you're Georgia, you neutralize that by saying we're going to go right at them. And I think that's going to be a massive key, whether that's adding another guy to the box, whether that's maybe adjusting, playing some more bear fronts, playing some, some under G, some different, fronts to get some big guys in there to be able to match that. And then really, seeing how Georgia plays that offensively. And so I think that's going to be a really interesting player-on-player matchup and schematic matchup that'll be fun to watch. And I think to flip it to the other side, I think, Jaden being healthy or not, I mean, the difference between someone that's at 75% versus 95% is a completely different offense. I mean, so many of their plays are made with not just him running, but elite speed. It's when a defensive end doesn't necessarily crash, just sits, and he's able to outrun him because he's one of the fastest guys on the field. And if you don't have that, now you're asking your offensive line to be able to now physically push around Georgia more. I haven't seen anyone do that yet. I think that would be a challenge. And so I'd say then, the biggest part after that is the receivers, the playmakers for LSU. They at times have been really unstoppable in certain games, just making plays. And then also you've seen them be a little off, whether that's just been the communication between receiver quarterback, route depth, or maybe just not had the opportunities. And so I think I think all three of those kind of play into each other, because if Georgia's able to play their style of ball, I think they keep it out of their hands. I think, and then if they can match that physicality, then I think you're going to see Jaden and the offense have to put up some big plays. And I would look for them to go after Neighbors and Booty and some of these receivers, Mason. And I think they got to step up with some massive plays, especially early, so you can play their style of football rather than Georgia's, because I don't think that's what they want to get into.
There's been